Hi, everyone, and welcome to Breaking Free from Golf Pain, Expert Solutions for Your Game. Hi, I'm Janice Thornton with JT Fitness and Golf, and I'm so excited that you are here today. We're going to dive into some great strategies so you can stop having pain while you play golf. So, in this webinar, you can expect that we're going to discuss different areas of pain or areas where golfers may be lacking mobility. I'm going to provide a few exercises for each of the pain areas so you can start living a pain free life and improve mobility. And I'm also going to introduce you to the Golfer's Pain Solutions. So I'm Janice Thornton. I'm the owner of JT Fitness and Golf, and I love golf and I love fitness. So I help others age backwards. And I have over 3 decades in the health and wellness arena, and I just love to share what I'm doing. So, like I said, I love golf, and I also love learning about how can I improve my own golf game. Therefore, I want to help share how you can improve your golf game as well. So I do have TPI levels 1 and 2 fitness certification, a Golf Digest golf specialist certification, a NASM golf specialist certification, a Golf Forever swing trainer certification, a True Term Pro certification, and I've actually written a golf fitness course for personal trainers that they can earn continuing education credits for. The big thing about me you're going to find out is I'm actually really greedy. I want my friends healthy and strong so I can have people to play golf with well into my 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I am the Tatum Ranch Senior Ladies Club champion from 2022 to 2024. So, again, I just love sharing the knowledge that I have. So, let's dive into what we're going to be talking about today. And there are 4 areas that I'm going to be covering today in this webinar. And it's going to be the neck, shoulders, back, and knee. Now, can golfers have pain in other areas? Of course you can. But these are the 4 main areas where golfers typically have their pain. So we have a golf pain epidemic, though. And why does this happen? Golf is a very repetitive sport and it's a one-sided sport. So you either play golf typically left-handed or right-handed. We end up having poor movement patterns, though, that lead to overuse and compensation, especially if you start golf later in life. Like I started when I was 35 and I've been playing for like 22 years. So at the beginning, I kind of had some bad swings at the beginning, which has taken me time to overcome. And a lot of us who do start later in life, we just don't get that really pretty swing that you see on tour. And as we get older, unfortunately, we have a lack of mobility and flexibility. But here's the great news. Even as we get older, guess what? We are able to still improve our mobility and flexibility, our strength, all of it. We can always get better. And that's the exciting thing about our body. So let's look at a joint by joint approach, though, to stability and mobility and how our body is supposed to function. So, when we look at stability, we need our feet, our knees, and our lumbar spine to be stable. They're very supportive joints in our body. But then we also need mobility in our body. So, we need our ankles, our hips, and our thoracic spine to be mobile. And especially when it comes to the golf swing, we need all of this to be happening. And there are some keys to pain free golf, though. Most pain comes from a breakdown in stability or mobility. And we want to fix the root cause, not just fix the symptoms. And so we're going to dive into the body parts and go into some exercises for each body part that you'll be able to implement today. I'm going to give you 3 exercises per body part that you can walk away with today. So let's dive into neck pain because a lot of us have neck pain, tight necks. This is a very common issue. However, we have to blame our technology a lot because so many of us sit at a computer each and every day. We're on our phones, we're on some kind of device, we're always looking down. And what does that do? Our head will put a lot of pressure. If we're always looking down, we're putting a lot of pressure on that neck area. And if we have restricted thoracic spine, your neck will overcompensate for this, and we want to make sure we take care of that. And there are corrective exercises that you can do, though. We can get into the deep neck flexors. We want to get into the cervical, upper and lower cervical spine and make sure that we have stability there and flexibility there. And we want to alleviate pain and improve your posture. If you look at the picture on the left, you can see that if you're sitting up tall, your head is tall, that your ears should be aligned with your shoulders. Now, a lot of people, though, because of technology, sitting at a desk, they slouch, their head is like forward. And you can see it, you'll be able to see it in people. And you'll see that the ear is now more aligned with their chest instead of more with the shoulders. So, we're going to get into some neck exercises. You're going to need a chair and you're going to need a towel. So, bear with me. I'm going to stop the share so that way you'll be able to see me do the full exercises and I don't get cut off. Stop share. Okay. And I'm also going to be moving my screen. I'm moving around my office so that way you're going to be able to see me. So I'm going to be sitting in this chair. I'm going to come back here. So this first exercise, I just want you to get to the edge of a chair. And you're going to take your hand, you're going to slide it down and put it to your ankle. Take your other hand, and now we're just going to rotate up toward the ceiling and come back down. Rotate up toward the ceiling and come back down. And I have you do one more. Rotate up and down. Now, with that exercise, you want to make sure that you just go up as comfortable that's comfortable for you. Do 5 to 8 repetitions on each side, and you may find that you have one side that is tighter than the other. That's okay, just keep working on it. This is a great stretch, especially if you've been sitting all day. Okay, so now I'm going to have you grab a towel, and you're just going to, I have a dish towel. So I'm just going to take the dish towel and I'm going to put this up over my head. So you want your shoulders down. You don't want your shoulders up. Press those shoulders down, squeeze those shoulder blades together. And I just want you to turn your head to the side and to the side. Bring your arms down, bring your arms up. Keep those shoulders down. Go to the side and to the side and down. Bring it down. Now we can get deep into some neck flexors. Bring it up and do, again, 5 to 8 of these, even 8 to 10 of those, 2 to 3 sets. You're gonna find that you love that exercise. It's gonna help relax your shoulder area, your neck area. And then the next one is a quadruped cervical nod. So with this, I'm gonna grab my mat, go down here. So I'm gonna get on my hands and my knees. And with this, you want to make sure that your shoulders are over your hands, hips over your knees. And you want to also make sure that you're not sinking down into your shoulders like this. Make sure that you've got yourself tall out of your shoulders, back flat. And then I want you to tuck your chin. Now I want you to really tuck your chin and then look up, try to look up as high as you can. Bring that chin in. Now you can really feel and lift up. You can really feel into the deep cervical spine. Just make sure you get that chin tucked because that way we target those deep cervical muscles really well. Awesome. I'm coming back. All right. Like I said, bear with me on my screen shares and all that. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. All right. Okay. So those were the neck exercises. Add those in, couple sets each day. You're going to love how your neck feels. So let's dive into shoulder pain. And when we focus on the shoulders, we have 3 different areas that we need to focus on: the thoracic spine, and we want to enhance rotation, extension, and flexion of the thoracic spine. We want to increase the stability and strength of our scapula, our scapulothoracic joint. And then we want our shoulder joint to be able to move and improve range of motion in our glenohumeral joint. Now, our thoracic spine and shoulder pain. Our primary role of the thoracic spine, remember, is mobility. We want to be able to flex, extend. We want to be able to rotate, especially for our golf swing. And because the thoracic spine, that's what it's made to do. Now, if you have a stiff thoracic spine, that means your lumbar spine takes a lot of the pain. And that's when you end up with the low back pain. So, but the thoracic spine, we're still talking shoulders. So just remember that the thoracic spine can affect your shoulders, can also affect your low back. But when the thoracic spine is tight, then the shoulders become overworked and they really start having to work too hard. So the shoulder area, we got to look at the scapula. If you have poor scapular stability, you end up with shoulder pain. You start having rotator cuff issues, or if you have rotator cuff issues, that can decrease your shoulder stability, and you can have a loss of range of motion. And of course, we don't want that. So you're going to try something. I want you to try this little test because we're so hunched over at our desks all the time, or we're in the car, we slouch when we really don't even think about it, and that's not good. So I'm going to push back a little bit. I just want you to kind of slouch over and think about if you're typing away, I want you to just try to raise your arms up overhead. See how far you can come up. And sometimes not very far. And now I just want you to sit up tall, really tall, and then now see how much farther you can actually come back when you do that. So when we have good posture, that always helps when it comes to mobility and flexibility in our joints. Okay, so let's dive into some shoulder exercises that you're gonna be able to do. We're gonna do an internal, external rotation. We're gonna do some wall slides and then a half kneeling thoracic spine rotation. With the rotations, half kneeling T-spine rotations, it's best if you can have a small foam roller. So I'm gonna stop the share again. Okay, so for this one, as I move my computer, I just want you to be able to see really well. So this first one that I'm gonna do is just internal, external shoulder rotation. So you want to have a wall where your feet are just a few inches from the wall, but your butt is on the wall, your thoracic spine's on the wall, and so is the back of your head. And then you're gonna put your arms at a 90-degree angle, and then just practice going up and down. How well are you able? Are you able to keep your elbows on the wall? And are you able to touch your hands, back your hands up and your palms down when you do this? Practice that exercise. It'll help work on rotation in that shoulder area. The next exercise is wall slides. Now I'm going to tell you, I picked this exercise because I struggle with this exercise and I didn't want to be able to do them all well for you and not have you think that, all instructors can do everything because we struggle too. So with this, you're going to put your arms at 90, again, butt on the wall, head back on the wall, and then you're going to take your arms up and then bring them down. Try to straighten your arms up as far as you can, keeping those elbows. This is all the farther I can really go, and then come back down. There's people I know who can go all the way straight up with those elbows on and back down, but that is something that even I need to work on that exercise. But give that one a try because it's a doozy. Okay, so this next one that I'm going to show you, hang on, let me adjust this a little bit. So you're going to take the foam roller, you're going to have a mat, we're going to go so that way we are going to be using a wall. You're going to take the foam roller, I have my left knee up and I'm pressing the foam roller into the wall. And I want this, if possible, because it takes out a lot of my lumbar spine. I'm gonna put my arm so that way I'm shoulder level, and then I'm just gonna rotate open as I push my knee. I'm gonna rotate open as best I can and come back. Rotate open. This way we can target more of your thoracic spine instead of your lumbar, your low back. We want to target the thoracic spine. 8 to 10 of these on each side, a few sets of those. You're gonna love it. Okay, let me come on back. All right, let's jump back into share. All righty. So now we're going to dive into back pain. A lot of people have back pain, and I guarantee it's because of lack of mobility and flexibility in their back. And areas that affect the back are tight hips, thoracic spine mobility, like I mentioned earlier, and weak glutes and core muscles as well also play a role in how well our backs function. Now, stability in the lumbar spine. So, the role of stability in the lumbar spine is we want to injury prevention. When we have a golf swing, there's a lot of torque that goes on in our back in that lumbar spine. So, we need our lumbar spine to be as stable as possible to prevent injury. Now, also, this is where power transfer happens. Let's look at the X factor in the golf swing. That's how well does your upper body dissociate from your lower body? How well do they move separately? And a lot of people, again, especially if you've started later in life playing golf, we don't have that same kind of dissociation like the professional players do. And the better we can get this dissociation, the farther you're going to be able to hit the ball. You're going to have more power in that swing. Also, when you have a stable lumbar spine, you're going to maintain proper posture. And we need this when we address the golf ball. If you don't have a strong lumbar, you don't have strong glutes, your address to the golf ball will be compromised. And this leads to a lot of swing issues. And we want to make sure that we have the stable low back because then it complements hip and thoracic mobility. Tight hip flexors, there is an impact of tight hip flexors on the lumbar spine. And because what happens is if you have tight hip flexors, the front of your legs, this pulls the pelvis forward and puts us into an anterior tilt. And this causes excessive curvature in the low back. And this leads to lumbar compression, increases stress on the discs, and increases low back pain. Our glutes help us stabilize the pelvis and protect the low back. That is what those do. But if we have tight hip flexors in the golf swing, we decrease our ability to rotate in the back swing, prevent proper loading and weight transfer, which reduces power in our golf swing. We can have early extension, we can have loss of spine angle, we can thrust our hips, do all sorts of stuff that we don't want to do in that golf swing. And then also we can limit our follow through. So it prevents full hip rotation in the follow through, which again puts stress on the low back and the knees. And we want none of that. We want to regain mobility in the thoracic spine. And this allows for the proper rotation in the golf swing. It gives us better power transfer in the golf swing, and then also allows us to have a much better setup for our golf address. And if we lose mobility, we don't want to be losing mobility. Because if we do, again, we get early extension over the top. You could have a reverse pivot. Our body compensates and we have loss of mobility, which causes injuries, like I've said over and over again, reduces your club head speed and increases your risk of low back pain, none of which we want. And we want to be able to regain extension and rotation in our thoracic spine because this takes pressure off our low back, improves our swing mechanics, increases swing speed, and overall health improves. So the approach to alleviate back pain is to unlock the thoracic spine and hips, create stability in the lumbar spine and throughout the core, and we need to turn on the glutes for additional support. So let's jump into the back exercises that you can do for this. These are great. You're gonna have the L-fold stretch, the pelvic tilt, and the glute bridge. So I'm gonna stop share so we can see all of that. So with the L-fold stretch, just gonna move this back a little bit. You're gonna take your chair, use any kind of chair you want, and with this, I want you just to hinge at the hips, keep your knees slightly bent, and allow your ears, your head to come between your arms, keeping those arms straight. Just feel a nice gentle stretch, and then you can rock back and forth. Listen to your body. Your body's gonna love this. Just come on up, but stick that butt out. And now take that right hand and put it over the left and just stretch, kind of stretch out that lat. Hold for 20 seconds each on each side, and then do the other, left over the right. You're gonna find this stretch really helps just elongate everything. Okay, the pelvic tilt. The pelvic tilt, we're gonna do standing or on the floor, and I highly recommend that you do this exercise in front of a mirror, only because it's really easy to get your knees involved instead of your pelvis. So with this, I want you to stand with knees slightly bent. All I want you to do is flatten your back, tuck your pelvis under, and then put an arch in your back. Tuck your pelvis under, put an arch in your back, tuck your pelvis under, and put an arch in your back. So you're going to do that back and forth. Now, if you struggle, like I said, do that in front of a mirror, because you might be amazed at what you actually see. So now I'm going to show you on the floor that same move, because again, some people have a hard time actually doing that exercise standing, and the pelvic tilt is very important in the golf swing. When you are transferring from your backswing to your fall, like as you're at impact position, that's when you go from an anterior tilt where you have a curve in your spine to that posterior tilt as you go into your follow through. So with this, all I want you to do is press your low back to the floor and then put an arch. You should be able to put your hand underneath your back. And then once you press your hand to the floor, you should not be able to put your hand underneath your back. And if you notice, my hips stay on the floor. I am not raising them up and down at all. So watch yourself with that. But pelvic tilt, excellent exercise. And then the last one to wake up our sleepy glutes is just a glute bridge. Have your feet flat on the floor, knees bent, and then I want you just to lift your hips up as high as you can, activating your glutes. Squeeze those glutes. Get your body into a straight line, push through your heels, and then slowly lower yourself down. And then go ahead and lift yourself up and squeeze and hold, and then lower yourself down. And do probably 10 to 15 of these, nice and slow. And that way you can wake up your sleepy glutes. All right, next we're going to dive into the knee. All right, hope you're doing great, learning a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into knee pain. Grabbing my drink. So remember our knee joint. This is a hinge joint. And so there's limited movement when it comes to the knee joint, little flex and extend. That's what it's supposed to be doing. So when you have knee pains, you're gonna have issues from the adjacent joints, your hips, your knees, or your ankles and feet. Because remember, the purpose, stabilization. So 3 areas that affect the knees: hips, because we have lack of mobility or your hips are weak; your ankles and feet, because they have lack of mobility; and your glutes, they're weak or sleepy. All of that impacts every joint, impacts each other. So we're going to dive into knee exercises. Okay, so I can just go this way. So the first one is I'm going to do the ankle slides. So get yourself onto a chair. So the first, I have socks on to do this. If you have like those moving men discs, something that slides easy also on the floor, you can do that. Um, Whichever is going to work best for you. You just want your foot to slide easily on the floor. So I have my foot. I'm just going to take my foot forward, keeping my heel on the floor the whole time. Go forward, and then same with going back. Go forward and back. See how far you can go with each foot and see how flexible your ankles are and how mobile they are. Keeping that heel on the floor going back. That's the big kicker on that one. And then you can also go side to side. So we're looking at eversion and inversion on this. How well can your ankles do going side to side? Practice doing 8 to 10 reps forward and back, side to side, both legs. You're going to find that this is a great exercise for your ankles. Okay, the next two, we need to get on the mat. I'm going to come here. Thank you for waiting and being patient. So this next one, I love this next one for our hips. And this one is the frog, because again, the hips affect the knees. And if we don't have mobile hips and flexible hips, then we're going to have a lot of issues with our knees. So this frog stretch, we're going to just go out wide. All I want you to do is get on your hands and then slowly take yourself out as wide as you can go. With this, from here, you can do different levels. And I just want you to gently rock back and forth. Do what's comfortable for your body. You're going to feel a stretch in your inner thighs, in your hip area. And then if you want to go deeper, you just go down onto your elbows, or you can put your arms out and just go down as far as what your body allows you to do that's comfortable for you. You don't want to be hurting anything. But the frog stretch, love that stretch. If it's too hard to get on the floor, on your knees, that's a great stretch that you can do on your bed. So that way you have a lot more cushioning, or double, triple up on the mat. So that way it feels comfortable for you to be on your knees, on the floor. And then clamshells. We need to wake up those sleepy glutes, and clamshells are great. You want to just lay on your side and then bring so your knees are, so you're kind of in a fetal position, not fetal position, but 90. You want your ankles stacked on top of each other, knees stacked on top of each other, and then you're going to just bring your knee up and down. Now you want to focus, like touch your butt, because we want to focus on the medius and minimus muscles in our glutes for this exercise. And if you notice, I'm not rolling over and trying to get more range of motion. I'm listening to my body on what it can do. Like it literally, it comes here and that's it. But I'm focusing on my glute muscles and getting them activated. When you touch your glutes, it's like you're telling your brain, hey, work here. This is what I want you to do. And again, 8 to 10 reps on each side for the clamshells. And you're going to activate those glutes. Okay, so let's go into what you can do. Okay. All righty. So what can I do? You can build a consistent routine, and this is what's really going to help you with your exercise. You want to do a daily routine. 10 to 15 minutes is all this takes for you to really change the way your body is functioning. You can integrate exercises into your daily life and develop a role of consistency. So I do want to introduce to you the Golfers Pain Solutions program that I have, and I've got solutions for shoulder pain, back pain, neck pain, and knee pain. These are all 21, each of them are 21-day challenges. And you're going to learn and understand the why behind each exercise. You're going to learn that consistency leads to impactful results. You're going to minimize your pain and enhance your movement experience. So if you're tired of having shoulder pain or neck pain or back pain, whichever, then guess what? This solution is going to be for you. There's over 49 videos with each pain solution that you will be learning over basically 50 exercises for knees, 50 exercises for neck, shoulder, back, each one that you'll be able to incorporate into your life. There's also a pain solution guide with each solution, and then tracking calendars, motivational emails, a Facebook community, and additional resources. And this is all at jtfitnessandgolf.com/golfers pain solutions. So some testimonials. Mark did the 21-day shoulder pain solutions, and he was consistent most days and found his shoulder pain decreased significantly, and he had a much better range of motion in his swing. Jackie did the knee pain, and she loved it. Her hips, back, and knees feel so much better, and her golf swing has improved also. She has more mobility and less pain when she plays golf. That's awesome. And then Phyllis did the 21 back pain solutions because she sits a lot during the day. So these exercises gave her a nice break throughout the day. And she would actually do a few exercises, in the morning and a few exercises in the afternoon. So 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the afternoon. And she had her done and loved it and saw great results. So some benefits of the Golfer's Pain Solution is that it does reduce your pain. It improves your posture and mobility. It's going to improve your golf swing and make golf a lifetime sport for yourself. So come on, join the Golfer's Pain Solutions today because it will change your life. These courses will change your life for sure. And usually this course goes for $299. And so today it's for $149, but if you are watching this webinar today, I'm actually going to give you an extra $50 off. Just use promo code GolfPain50 and you will get an extra $50 off. It is that easy. And again, you can go to jtfitnessandgolf.com, the golfers /golfers pain solutions. Or if you have another device, you can scan that QR code and it will take you right to that landing page. And again, just use the promo code GolfPain50 for the extra 50 off because I want you to have it. And if you have any questions about which solution you should do, feel free to email me or on my website, you can schedule an appointment with me for us to do a 30-minute golf fitness chat. And I can help you decide which solution would be best for you. The great thing is you can start these solutions at any time because if you're ready today, I want you to be able to start today, not wait a week or two or in a month or whatever. I want you to be able to just get started. But please feel free to connect with me. I love to meet people and help you improve your golf game. You can reach me at janice@jtfitnessandgolf.com. And again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Hope you have a fantastic day.